let's talk about buying cows, or getting started. How do you get started? I've got land here. I've got my fencing. I've got my water. I've got my corral set up. I'm ready to go. How do I get started? So one of the things that you can do is buy a bred cow. Let's just say the bred cow runs you $1,200. All right, so this is like a 5 to 6 year old bred cow. She's carrying a calf. She's gonna calve, in the spring. Okay, and then you can also buy an unbred cow. All right, and an unbred cow, 5 or 6 years, fairly young cow. She's had a couple calves maybe, and you can buy an unbred one for perhaps $800. I want you to appreciate that this is putting a $400 value on that calf. All right. Now, you can buy one that's already calved, that has a nursing calf at her side. She's already nursing. She's had the calf. It's called a cow-calf pair. And that cow-calf pair will probably run you more like $1,400, because the calf's already born. Up here you have the risk you could lose the calf, have problems in birth. Unbred, you have the chance she might not even breed. Okay, so that's why these discounts are so big, because they're risk factors. Now, another thing you can do is buy a cull cow. All right, and that might cost you $600. Now, don't take me to the bank on these numbers, because these numbers change every Friday morning when they print the exchange rates from auctions around the country. The principle is that you do not want to get over your head on salvage. All right? So, if this cow up here, she's bred, if she loses her calf, now you have a cull cow. Okay? You're at salvage. What's going to be the salvage value? $600. We've already established that. So you've paid $1,200 for a bred cow. She lost her calf. Her salvage value just dropped to $600. You just lost $600 on that cow. The unbred one, if she doesn't breed, you've only lost a couple of hundred. The nursing one, well, she's going to have a calf. That's guaranteed, unless the calf dies, which is a very, very low risk. That calf, if she's a nursing cow and calf, the cow, even at salvage rate, is going to be worth $600 even at salvage, and the calf is going to be worth $800 at least at weaning. So this is $1,400. My point is, you've protected your money back. This is why it's so critical that you buy in with salvage in mind. Because I don't care what you get. I don't care who your breeder is, who you're buying from, anything. If you buy 5 animals, at least one of them you're not going to have at the end of next year. So you've got to just assume that 20%, maybe even 25% of the animals that you buy are not going to last a year. What are you going to do with that animal at the end of that year? I'm not saying that animal's going to die. I'm just saying it's not going to be something you want to keep. So then you've got to salvage, which is why you start making your decisions based on what's that eventual salvage value, which is why it makes such a big difference for us at our farm, because we're direct marketing. This cull cow, that the salvage price is $600, you can take her, wean the calf, fatten her up a little bit, and grind her completely up into ground beef, and you can get $2,000. Okay, well, that makes a big difference in your risk factor. If you can move your salvage up, then you have a lot more flexibility into what you want to buy. If this is your salvage right here, if that's what you're stuck with down at the sale barn, the salvage price, then your options are a lot more limited, and you need to think about what's the cost of that. What you need to understand here is that between these two right here, they've put a $400 value on the breeding and the live calf. That's actually not a bad value, okay? What if this spread is $700 and you can get a nursing pair for $1,200? Well, then you definitely want a nursing pair. You wouldn't want, you wouldn't want to make a different choice. So depending on markets, depending on what is actually out there in the inventory, in the field, it makes a big difference on what you might want to buy. And so it's the spreads. It's the spreads that are important, and realize the value that they're putting on a calf, the value that they're putting on a live calf, a yet-to-be birthed calf, and a complete unknown, okay? The point is that if you come up here and buy an unbred animal for $1,400, if you buy 5 unbred animals for $1,400, okay, times 5 animals is going to be $7,000. One of those in a year is going to be salvage, okay? So if you spend that much, you've lost $800. You spread that over 5 animals, you've lost $175 per animal in that very first year. That's the kind of protection you need to think about as you acquire animals. It's the risk factor and the spread and the salvage cost that actually determines what you're going to buy and how you're going to get started. We always encourage people, think about your salvage. Buy a cow that if everything goes to pot, you can get your money back on the cow. I mean, there are plenty of people that have bought a bunch of cull cows. A few of them will be bred, and you can have them. You can pregnancy check them, and once they're bred, or you find out who's bred, we'll put the others back in the sale barn. You're going to get your money back. You won't make anything, but you won't lose anything, and you keep the ones that are bred. Most of those are going to calve. You're going to keep the calf next year. Calf's going to be worth $800. Okay, calf's going to be worth $800 when it's weaned. Right now they're worth about $1,400. Okay, but we're going to put $800 to be conservative, and hopefully this course will have some credibility for some time to come, because everything that goes up eventually comes down. And it only goes down so far, then it comes back up. So if we're going to have a calf that's worth here, and we have some culled cows, well, we've held our own. We've not lost anything on the culled cows, and we've made it on the calves, the few the ones that were bred. And so our point is, put your money in a bull. Don't ever put your money in cows beyond what you can get back as a salvage. Generally speaking, if you can protect your salvage rate, put your money in the bull. The bull is half of your genetics. All right. So maybe these cows are not your vision of where you want to end up in 10, 20 years. Okay, that's fine. Get them from a neighbor. Get them from a friend. Get them from someplace close. They don't have to be your color. They don't have to be your type. Put your money in the bull. The bull will not lose money. The bull will hold its value. Okay. Especially if you get, an older bull. As bulls age, they tend to drop off in price. And so that bull that you buy will generally hold its price, whether you salvage it for somebody else to use as a breeding stock, or obviously if you're direct marketing, you can, cut it all up into ground beef and make some huge ground beef. All right. But the point is, you put your money in the bull. You don't risk all your money on these females. And you protect yourself by the salvage price. That's our advice on how to get started. Get run-of-the-mill stuff. Put your money in the bull. Get a bull that looks like where you want to go over breeding time. Get a bull that looks like where you want to go. And protect yourself from salvage risk with the cow price.